Hello everyone, today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Huanuo dual monitor mount, which is currently on offer on Amazon for £60 UK or $69 US. For the last 2 years I have been using the Bondtech dual monitor mount, which has served me well. That mount is also available on Amazon for £35 or $35. And for that price I would definitely recommend buying it as an entry-level dual monitor stand. It supports screens from 17 inch to 27 inch, but the Huanuo supports between 13 inch and 27 inch. What I don't like about the Bondtech mount is the cable management route that goes via the top pole, and on my setup, due to my slanted roof line, I have to have my screens lower and you can see all the cables. Another reason is I want to change my screen from landscape to portrait, and although this does do it, I find that getting it back to the same level is difficult. Hopefully this new gas and spring operated mount resolves that and allows me to get it into the position I want. So let's check it out. Here is the instruction manual. This is a troubleshooting guide. One of the screen mount arms. Cable management clips. A small tool bag. Looks like a mount cover. The second screen mount arm. And finally the main mounting pole. Step 1. Mount the base. So you will need to assemble the pole and bracket. In my case, before I begin, I have to get rid of the old monitor stand, but luckily I can fast forward that part. I have a tempered glass top which I don't want to scratch or damage. So I am going to use this non-slip rubber mat that I found in the kitchen to cushion it against the glass. I am going to use the base as a template to cut the rubber mat. You could also use foam. Here I have some velcro straps that I am going to use to tidy up some of this cabling so it's not messy. I'll provide a link to this product in the description. You first need to mount the pole onto this bracket using these bolts. This is what it should look like. Once you have done that, you need to bolt in the L bracket using the bolts provided. This is what fixes it to your desk. I am unable to pull my desk out due to the weight, so I am going to try and mount this from underneath. The bolts are meant to be mounted from the back, but I've managed to get them in. The issue I have is that this brace doesn't reach the top of the desk, so it can't be secured. Now I could take the L bracket up, but I would have to mount the bolts from the back, meaning I have to pull the desk out, which isn't an option at the moment. In a few weeks time I do plan to paint my room, so I will do that then. In the meantime I will use this block of wood and wrap it around with this black electrical tape. Now it's all properly secured using this wooden block, you cannot even tell it's there. This is the cable management that sits behind the pole, so I will put that in once I can get access to it. Now it's time to mount the arms on, and you simply slide them onto the pole and tighten them with the Allen key provided. Here we have both arms mounted on the pole. The next step is to attach the monitors to the arms. The Dell monitors that I am using come with stands that you can remove with a push of a button, and behind them are the VESA mounting holes which usually have screws in them. These have to be removed, but you can use these screws to mount to the arms. You don't have to use the ones that come with the new mount. Top tip is to insert the screws about 3/4 of the way into the top of the monitor VESA mount holes, and this will allow you to easily slide the monitor onto the mounts and you can secure them once it's positioned. So now with both screens on, it's time for some cable management. The problem I have come across during this installation is that my cables, so the HDMI, DP and power, are too thick to put inside the mount's cable management. I have used the Velcro straps from earlier and secured them. Not exactly the look I was looking for, but it will have to do. Now here's how it looks. So what's the final verdict? Should you avoid it, shortlist it, or should you buy it? Buy it, obviously. After using this for a few weeks now, I am happy with my purchase. I would like Huanuo to maybe offer a larger capacity for cable management in the future, as in my case I have my PC hooked up to these monitors as well as my laptop via the Dell Thunderbolt dock I am using, and I have 4 cables per monitor. Nevertheless, the cable management is a big improvement, as you can see from the previous setup. This is a lot neater, but a lot of the tidying was down to the Velcro straps too. I am really enjoying the portrait view. This allows me to read documents much easier. There isn't a need to scroll as much. I can't really put it into words, but I didn't imagine how much difference it would make. If I want to go back to landscape, I simply twist it back and change the display settings. You don't have to worry about it getting worn over time, as the prototype have been through 20,000 motion tests and still haven't worn. In my opinion, it's definitely a game changer and would be very useful for people who do a lot of reading and document writing, or for someone who just wants the flexibility to move your screens to whatever position with ease. I hope you liked my video. If you did, please give it a like. I will put links to the products I have used in this video in the description, and by using those links I'll get a few pennies from Amazon. In a few weeks time I will be making a video on my full desk setup, so please consider subscribing if you are interested. Thank you.